Hey everyone, and welcome back to Joey's Retro Newscast, where I'll be going over the top news of the last week in retro handhelds, retro gaming, and just gaming in general. Companies are back from Chinese New Year, and so we do have some news this week to go over, and some exciting things as well, so let's just jump right in. First up in emulator news, this is a newscast topic that was submitted by Matt Davis from last week, and he wanted to talk about Robert Broglia's new Saturn.emu emulator that is now on the Play Store. It costs $5 and it's kind of expensive for what it is compared to its counterparts. I haven't had a chance to look into it yet, but if you've been looking at another Saturn emulator to just see if it might work for you, this one's based on Mednafen, and it might be a good option for you, so check it out. Then we have Emulation Station, which is now on Android, but there's a few different caveats. First, it's on the Amazon App Store, and it's paid. You have to pay $5.39 US cents right now, so it's a bit expensive for what it is compared to its counterparts. But if you've been waiting for Emulation Station, this might be the one to get. It's a nice front end. We've been using it for EmuDeck for a long time now, and a lot of people have familiarity with it. I've tried it out on my Odin 2, and it's a little bit buggy currently, so it might be worth waiting a little bit longer. It doesn't have an Android app section, which is something you absolutely need on Android, but it could be a good option down the road when it's fully ready. Jumping over into some Switch emulation news, and we have Yuzu Android that just added button mapping and vibration. And this was added as of version 252, and I think the current one is 259, so if you go and grab the latest one, you should have button mapping and your life should be so much better. And finally, we have some Strato news, and they're going to be releasing in the first half of 2024. Right now, it should work better with Mali GPUs, and they're working on getting some optimization done with some JIT compiler stuff, and just getting some non-NCE games to work. NCE being native code execution, which makes it a lot easier for them to emulate Switch. I'm excited to see what Strato brings. We have so many different Switch emulators now for Android that it's awesome. So it should be an exciting time to see what they all do differently. In device news, we have a new PAL Kitty, the second of 2024. This one is an RGB 20SX, and it is basically an RGB 20 with the RGB 30 1x1 screen attached to it, as well as the internals from the RGB 30. So you're going to get Wi-Fi, you're going to get the RK3566, and basically everything else that the RGB 30 has. Personally, I think I'm past the tired stage of getting RK3566 devices still in 2024. It's kind of annoying that we've had this for the last 3 years. And so I did a poll on YouTube just to see how others felt and how you as a community felt. And it seems like you overwhelmingly agree with me on this. So most of you are just kind of tired of these lazy updates and little updates in RK3566s. So hoping that we get something better in the future. But we're starting 2024 off with a bang, and PAL Kitty already has 2 devices out, and they haven't shipped the RGB 10 Max 3 yet, which I think is going to be in the next few weeks. Then we have the PlayStation Portal, which has been hacked, and we've been waiting for this. I didn't actually think it would happen, because I didn't think people cared as much, but somebody was able to add PlayStation Portable onto it. And that somebody is the Flow Zero, who has been a renowned developer for a long time now. He's done a lot of work in the community. There's only 6 gigabytes of internal storage on the PlayStation Portal, so I don't know how viable this will actually be in the future. And this is a software hack as well, which is really good to see. So don't get your hopes up too much unless you can find a way to add some extra storage to it. But as of right now, it's a pretty cool thing to see. The awesome idea would be if you can get Game Pass and Moonlight on it, because then you could have a really good streaming device in that price range that can do anything. PlayStation VR 2 users are about to get a good new feature, and that's PC support. So you'll soon be able to connect your PSVR 2 to your PC and be able to do things that way. Sony says that this should be added by the end of 2024. Now we have another week, and we have more Ioneo news. This week, their Ioneo Pocket S was featured a little bit in a video by Russ, friend of the show from Retro Gamecore. He did a review, but not a review on the Ioneo Pocket S. Can't say a lot of things. There's a lot of things that seem to be on embargo. It's battery life, a lot of the performance parts, and It's kind of a weird little mishmash of learning a little bit more about the device, but not everything you need to know. Remembering again that the current guesstimates of pricing for this is going to be around $450 plus US dollars. So just keep that in mind as you're watching this. But for a lot of people, this could be a really cool device if you're looking for the top end Android. Canadians, be a little careful. They use DHL shipping, and that might add a big chunk of change to your shipment if you're not aware. If this weekly report helps you, don't forget to like and sub. It helps the channel grow. As a follow-up to last week's Xbox news, we find out the actual games that are going to be going multi-platform. And lo and behold, Joey was right. The 4 games that are going to be going multi-platform are Pentiment, Hi-Fi Rush, Sea of Thieves, and Grounded. And let's go over the list. Pentiment is already out on PS4, PS5, and Switch. Hi-Fi Rush will be out on March 19th on PS5. Grounded will be out on April 16th on PS4, PS5, and Nintendo Switch. And this actually has crossplay between Xbox, PC, PlayStation, and Nintendo, which is really cool. Then we have Sea of Thieves, which comes out on April 30th on PS5, and that has crossplay between Xbox, PC, and PlayStation. You'll notice that Hi-Fi Rush isn't on Switch, and that was a big rumor and a big leak that we saw in the last year. I have to assume that it's still coming. They might just need a little bit more time with it, so keep an eye out on that. Then we have some Final Fantasy Rebirth news. The demo is out for you to play, and I've already pre-ordered this game, so I don't know if I need an actual demo for it. I played the first one. I think I know what I'm getting into. But if you want to play the demo, some things carry over to your save, so you might want to try it out. Remember again that the game releases on the 29th, and we actually just got reviews in, and it seems like it's overwhelmingly positive, actually more than positive. It has a 93 on Metacritic as of me reading this right now. So it looks like it's going to be one of those must-play type of games, and I'm super excited to play it myself. Last on the gaming news, we have Elden Ring DLC, Shadow of the Erd Tree. And it's going to be released on June 21st for $40 US dollars. So for the many people that have been waiting for Elden Ring DLC, you have it now. Now let's end off with some Switch news, and we have quite a bit of Switch news. First up, there's a lot of news coming out that the Switch 2 is delayed to 2025, early 2025. So you have to assume that they'll probably do a March release like they did for the Switch 1. This is going to be interesting. I think we'll see a lot of remasters and remakes for the next maybe year or so until that comes out, unless they were prepared for this already ahead of time, but it seems like it might have just been a last-minute decision to just delay it a little bit longer. So it could be something that we could see, just some things to fill the timeline for the next kind of 6 months to a year. I don't think we'll see a lot of first-party Nintendo things in the next year or so. We might see 1 or 2. I think they're probably just going to hold off on the new Switch, and then we'll start getting a lot. And to kind of further that point, Nintendo did a Direct this week. And so we got a whole list of games. And I'm not going to go over the entire list of games because there's a lot there, but there were some things that interested me and things that I love to talk about. First up, as I mentioned before, Grounded will be coming to the Switch on April 16th. So keep an eye out for that. Second, we have Unicorn Overlord, which was a strategy RPG from Sega. And I might be the only one that's been following this game because it's a strategy RPG, but it looks awesome. And right now, there's actually a demo out, so if you want to try it, you can do so. Shin Megami Tensei 5 fans are getting a new storyline with Vengeance, and it's an entirely new game with new story, new characters, and all of that, and it'll be releasing on June 21st, and it's also going to be multi-platform, so it's not Switch-specific. A game that I'm super excited for, it's Fantasy Life I, The Girl Who Steals Time, and that's going to be releasing on October 10th. If you haven't played Fantasy Life for the 3DS, I highly suggest it. It is an awesome game. Then the other Xbox game that I mentioned before, Pentiment, is out now as well. We have some new Switch Online games, which is Battletoads and Battle Maniacs and Killer Instinct, which I love. And there's some other games that are coming as well. Just check out the full list in the Nintendo Direct. Nothing groundbreaking or earth-shattering in the Nintendo Direct, but definitely give it a watch if it's something you're interested in. Pokemon fans, we have a Pokemon Presents coming up on February 27th at 6 a.m. PST. I don't know what I'm exactly looking for here from Pokemon, But I do still want Let's Go Johto, whatever form that takes, because Pokemon Silver and Gold and Crystal are among my favorite Pokemon games, and I would love to see them added into the Let's Go universe because I actually really like the Let's Go games as well. So maybe we'll see that, or maybe there's other things that hidden up their sleeve. We'll see. Hopefully not just Pokemon Sleep again. By the way, did I miss a topic that you want to talk about? Top comment with the words newscast topic will be featured next week on next week's show. So keep that news coming and send those comments my way. That's all from me, Vancouver.